Their names were Chen, Yara, Bost, Delvin, Marika, Sol, and Preet. I say their names first because everything that comes after this is about them, not about me, not about what I did or how I did it, about 7 people who deserve better than what happened to them on the survey vessel Mira in the outer Harath corridor on a Tuesday that started like every other Tuesday and ended like nothing I had words for. Chen was our pilot. Yara ran communications. Bost and Delvin were our engineers. Always arguing, never actually angry. Marika was our medic and the best card player on the ship. Sol was 19 years old on his first posting and still sent messages home to his mother every week without embarrassment. Preet was my second in command and the person I trusted more than anyone I had ever worked with. They were killed by a Krethal raider crew in 31 minutes. I was in the maintenance bay on the lower deck running a routine check on the water recycling system when the Kretha vessel came out of the debris field without a signal and matched our velocity before our sensors registered them. I heard the docking clamps hit our hull, and I heard the breach, and I heard everything that followed through the walls of the ship while I stayed completely still in the maintenance bay behind a panel that was too small for a Krethal soldier to bother checking. I want to be clear that I was not hiding out of cowardice. I was hiding because Preet had drilled into every member of our crew a protocol for hostile boarding that said anyone not in a position to respond directly should stay hidden and stay alive because a living crew member is more useful than a dead one. I stayed alive. I listened to 31 minutes that I will not describe because some things do not need to be put into words to be understood. When it was over, the raiders took what they wanted from our cargo hold and damaged the communications array. And left. They left me because they did not know I was there. They left Amira because she was not worth taking. They left me alone on a damaged ship with 7 people who were not alive anymore in a corridor that saw maybe 2 vessels a month on a good month. I sat in the maintenance bay for a long time after they left. Then I got up. Not because I had a plan. I did not have a plan yet. I got up because sitting was not going to change anything and doing nothing was something I had never been capable of for very long. Especially not then. I checked the ship. Cargo gone. Communications damaged. Everything else functional. The kind of damage that said these people did not fear being followed. That was their first mistake. The communications array took 2 days to fix. Not fully. Enough for short-range signals, enough to reach a relay if one came within range. One came within range on day 4. I sent a distress signal and a full incident report, and the identification number of the Krethal raider vessel from the 30 seconds of sensor data we had captured before they killed our external systems. A coalition patrol vessel arrived on day 6. 2 officers, professional. They documented everything carefully, and told me the raider identification matched 3 previous attacks in the past 8 months, and that the coalition was actively searching for the vessel. They said they were sorry for my loss. They left on day 7. I was alone again. On day 8, I stopped grieving long enough to start thinking. The coalition had been searching for 8 months. Resources, jurisdiction, full databases. 8 months and nothing. I had a damaged survey vessel, 6 weeks of supplies, and 43 days of nothing but time and the kind of focus that only arrives when something has been taken from you that cannot be replaced. The coalition was searching for the vessel. I was thinking about where it would be. Raiders do not move randomly. Fuel is expensive. Time is expensive. Exposure is dangerous. Raiders stay close to high traffic routes but position in areas where patrol density drops. They find the gaps and they live in them. I knew the outer Harath corridor. 8 months of survey work. Every debris field, every dead zone, every patrol gap. I mapped the 4 attack locations, including mine. The pattern was not random. All 4 were positioned along a specific drift corridor, between 2 large debris fields, a natural blind spot in the coalition patrol coverage. Long enough to hide in, close enough to 2 major cargo lanes to reach targets quickly and disappear just as fast. I had surveyed 3 sections of that corridor myself. And 6 months ago, our instruments had flagged something inside the eastern debris field, a natural formation, a space large enough to shelter a vessel, shielded on all sides by dense material that would scatter most standard sensor sweeps. We logged it as a geographical curiosity. I looked at it now with different eyes. I spent 3 weeks building the analysis, attack pattern mapping, corridor blind spot documentation, full survey data from 6 months ago with the shelter coordinates marked and annotated with every measurement we had taken. On day 31, I sent it to the Coalition Patrol Coordinator. Not a distress call, a formal analytical report. Everything laid out, everything sourced, Nothing left to interpretation. The response came in 12 hours. Her name was Vale, Senior Coalition Officer, Kathy Rand. Direct. She said the analysis was being reviewed immediately. She said the shelter coordinates were being cross-referenced with patrol positioning. She asked where this data had come from. I say, meet the survey logs. She went quiet for 4 hours. Then she said a strike team was being repositioned to the coordinates. Then she said the analysis had been forwarded to Outer Belt Intelligence. Then she asked me directly whether I had produced this analysis alone on a damaged survey vessel. I said yes. She said nothing for 12 hours. Then the final message came. The strike team had located the raider vessel at the exact coordinates. The vessel was in custody. The crew was in coalition detention. 7 counts of unlawful killing were among the charges filed. I read that message 3 times. 7 counts. Chen, Yara, Bost, Delvin, Marika, Saul, Preet. I had expected to feel something sharp, something that burned. What came instead was quieter and heavier. The feeling of a thing that needed doing being done. Not enough, it was never going to be enough. But something real had happened because of 7 names that deserved to have something real happen. I started the Mira's engines. Set a course for the nearest station. 6 days ahead of me, quiet corridor, empty space. I took out the small notebook I had carried for 11 years and I wrote their names in it. Not in a report, not in a log, just their names on a page that was only for them. Chen, Yara, Bost, Delvin, Marika, Sol, Preet. I said them out loud once. Then I flew home.